Today, I'm going to be ranking every scenery in Clash of Clans. I wanted to make this video last year, but it didn't feel like we had enough back then, and so I just waited. And today, there are 19 sceneries. That's a lot. So we're going to be ranking them in tiers S, A, B, C, and D. There won't be any F tier because I don't think any of the sceneries are that bad. So think of this list as my favorites to my least favorites. I don't hate any of them. Anyways, with that being said, let's get right into it.
Let's do this.
Classic scenery. The OG. Although not super OG because it was changed a few times over the years, but still more or less the same thing. So the classic scenery alternates between 3 different variations: normal, autumn, and winter. And I wanted to quickly rank them before we got into the juicy stuff. They're all pretty much the same thing except for tree color and some snow. So I'm gonna put them all at B. I would say B is like in the middle of things. I don't know. Let me know where you guys would put these classic sceneries. Clash Constructs. This was the first custom scenery in the game, and back then sceneries weren't over the top like they are today with custom grass, music, and animation, so I'm gonna set my standards low for this one. This was my favorite scenery for a while. The woods vibe was chill as hell, and being the first scenery, it felt like a better default, like a way better one. If they were going for a premium default scenery, they nailed it. At the time, it would have been S, but since we're ranking all of them, I wanted to all be fair. So today, I put it at B. Jungle Scenery. So this one is free at Town Hall 14, but I don't see anyone using it anymore unless they're strictly free to play. It's very basic, and since it's free, I wouldn't expect much. But something is better than nothing, and if you reach Town Hall 14, this is something different to look at. But in my opinion, compared to all of the other great sceneries, this is D. Pirate Scenery. Honestly, it feels like what the jungle scenery would have been if it costed money. It feels more like a jungle than the actual epic jungle scenery. It's probably the overgrown skull and huts spread around the map, but I don't know, maybe it's just me. Other than the jungle aspect of it, the ports with the pirates are incredibly detailed. It looks really nice, and the colors all complement each other. I think I'm gonna go with an A for this one. Epic Winter Scenery. There's not much going on in this scenery, but this was the first winter one, so I guess it makes sense. Honestly, what there is, though, I like better than the snow day scenery. At least some parts of it. The design and the purple water, yeah. But one thing that this does worse is the transition from snow to grass. The snow on the bright green grass is a little weird. Sceneries back then did not have custom grass yet. The technology wasn't there apparently. So hopefully Supercell revisits the idea and adds better grass. But for now, we'll go with C. Hog Mountain Scenery. I think you all know this, but this one was inspired by the Hog Mountain Arena in Clash Royale. I think it captured the best parts of it well, and it actually feels like what a town would maybe look like if it were right next to the arena. With that being said, there's tons of empty space that I feel like could have been used. Also, I think they missed an opportunity to make it feel like the base was on an actual mountain, like how they did with a lot of capital bases. Still, it's a pretty sweet scenery, and I'm gonna put it at B. Epic Jungle Scenery. Okay, this one makes the base feel elevated, which is the exact thing I was talking about that Hog Mountain should have had. But anyways, focusing on this scenery, it gives me a lot of Uncharted vibes. And I love how they incorporated the ocean. Here, it is more of a jungle canal to get to the base, which I thought was cool. Not gonna lie though, the scenery left me wanting more. It is very empty in terms of stuff. All of the small details is on the right side, and the rest is just the environment, and yeah. I'm gonna go with B, right in the middle of Constructs and Hog Mountain. 9th Clashiversary Scenery. Incredibly detailed. There is a lot going on. It literally feels like you're at a Clashiversary party, which I believe was the entire intent of it, and if so, they knocked it out the ballpark. Every corner of the base, there's something cool to look at, and there's also some interesting custom music. Instead of actual music, you're hearing what's going on in the celebration. I feel like this was the first over-the-top scenery, which makes perfect sense because it was a Clashversary scenery. I remember it coming out and I didn't even think twice about buying it. I just instant buy. This is going in S tier for its incredible detail, animations, and interesting choice of custom music. Pumpkin Graveyard. This is a Supercell make design. It reminds me of that one level in SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. The Flying Dutchman level? Nobody? Okay. Anyways, this scenery is very detailed. Like most sceneries higher up on the list, it just makes you want to look around for a very long time and not miss out on any detail. Also, the music and sounds, man, it's all perfect. It all comes together so perfectly. It makes a spooky scenery that'll give you those Halloween vibes any time of the year. This one is a pretty sweet scenery. I'm gonna put it right around here. Snow Day scenery. Everyone likes to say this is what the epic winter scenery should have been, and it's probably because it solved the problem of the snow looking weird. In this one, the entire base is incorporated with frozen grass. It also has like probably 4 times more detail than the other one. Everything here screams Christmas and winter, and it's just so chill, including the music and sounds. Also, I noticed that in this scenery, some of the surroundings are separated, so when you zoom in, they pop in and out of view. I thought that was very cool. Obviously, this is not the only scenery that does this, but I think it might have been one of the first. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go with S tier on this one simply because it's the best winter scenery and you can tell they put in a lot of work into this one. Tiger Mountain scenery. I'm not sure if I'm right on this, but I think this was the first nighttime scenery and the first to have grass that was a different color. And I absolutely loved it. For me, it's the only nighttime scenery that matches very well with blue bases like Town Hall 12 and 13. When this scenery came out, I think I was at Town Hall 12 going to 13, so it made sense. You can only imagine how much I used this at the time over all of the others. I really love the small areas. It's got everything from merchants, huts, and what looks like a training area. Everything about this map I like, but I just don't think it's S tier either, so I'm gonna go with A tier. Primal scenery. This is probably like the best scenery for Town Hall 14 in terms of matching and colors. I don't know about you, but I love when colors just match and make sense. Other than the colors though, it is very well made and feels incredibly different from most sceneries, throwing you into an environment that feels very far from the usual Clash. It's such a cool design to zoom in and explore, see how they incorporated Clash into this unfamiliar environment. It's very cool. Like this random crab that I spotted going into his hideout, or the Electro Dragon stuck in the wall. It all works. This one is gonna go in A tier for me. Shadow scenery. The detail, the colors, the vibe, this is an automatic S tier. This is such a huge change from the usual scenery. You can tell a lot of work went into this, like a lot. There are so many entrances and paths, it all had me wondering, where did it go? I felt like I was in a different part of the Clash universe, maybe a dungeon under the Clash castles or whatever. I'd imagine this looks sick as hell at Town Hall 8 through 11, but at Town Hall 13, the very bright blue base doesn't contrast well, in my opinion. Still, that didn't kill the vibe for me. I love this one. It also has some sick ass background music. My favorite custom music out of any of the sceneries, and that says a lot. Royal scenery. This is Clash Royale Easter egg galore. I mean, there is so much to look at and discover. It's cool. If you love Clash Royale, this one was a must-have, and hopefully in the future we can rebuy sceneries somehow. I don't know, like skins, maybe. I wish there was custom music related to Clash Royale though, but it lacked any custom music or sounds. Like, I was a little disappointed, I'm not gonna lie, but it didn't ruin it for me, as the details here are one of my favorites. There was an area that could have used a little more attention, but overall the scenery makes the base feel like a part of the Clash Royale side of things. I'm gonna go with A tier. Summer scenery. I'm probably gonna get hate for this, but I feel like this is one of the ones that I like the least. The colors felt all over the place, especially how the buildings all have grass under them, which does not fit at all. Now, in recent sceneries, Supercell has come up with a solution, but this one being a little older, it still has this weird look to it with the grass being green and no. They'll probably go back and fix it, hopefully. Maybe they can make it look similar to the primal scenery, that would be perfect. But aside from its flaws, I'm not putting it at D. The details here make me want to say C. There's just a lot going on. And if you ignore the ugly grass situation, it's an incredible sight. You'll definitely spend some time looking around. 10th Clashversary scenery. I can't think of any other tier to put this other than D. I'm just kidding. S. This is over the top. If we had a S+ tier, it would be there. Hands down my favorite scenery. Part of that is because I've played through everything on this map and it's just looking at stuff and zooming in, discovering something that I didn't see there before. It's all nostalgic because I know everything that the map is talking about. The map is following a timeline clockwise starting from here of all of the updates added over the years. I love the background noises as well, but I was really hoping for some custom music as well. Maybe I'm asking for too much, but I hope that they go back and add something different to the music. The map is perfect, but that was the one thing that I felt was missing. Also, I just wanted to mention that this scenery makes the map huge. This is being recorded on an iPhone. It is massive. You remember when Clan Capital came out and you could zoom all the way out and it felt like a giant ass map? Well, this is not that big, but it's as close as we'll get to that with a home village scenery. Pixel scenery. This is the second free scenery in the game and it's a pixelated version of the classic scenery. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it's free, so what did I expect? I did get a chance to look and play around with the 2 new sceneries about a month ago, and after playing with the pixel one for a lot and just chilling with it, just literally sitting there and feeling the vibe, I don't know if I'm making any sense. Well, I kind of like it. Not as much as the others, but it's not that bad. This one has custom music and sounds, and they sound exactly how you'd expect it to. This one is honestly going to come as a surprise, but for what it is, it's a B. Classic war scenery. The OG. You can't go wrong here. I mean, you only have 2 options, and I don't really war much, so I'm not sure if my opinion matters here, but I don't mind the classic look. I guess I would put it right in the middle of this list. I don't know, where would you guys put it? Inferno Town war scenery. So this is the only other option, and it's also a Supercell make design. I never bought it, but I have regrets now since when I do war every once in a while. The OG one gets boring to look at sometimes. Like I said, I don't mind it, but something new would have been cool. Now, I don't think I'm the only one who thinks this, but the scenery is more of an improvement of the classic one, so it doesn't change the vibe much. It still feels like the classic, but way better. If there were more different choices, this would have probably ranked lower, but being the only better option for wars, I'm gonna go with A tier. So guys, that should be it. Wow, there's a lot of sceneries. It felt like I've been talking forever. But yeah, that is my list of where I would rank all of these sceneries. My favorite right now being the 10th year anniversary one, but before that, it was the Shadow one. Let me know what your favorite scenery is down below, and if you want to make your own chart just like this one, I'll leave a link down below. It is the exact chart that I used. Anyways, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. HaVoC Gaming out. Peace!